Good morning, you're very welcome back. We are outside and it is delightful. From
lovely.
Insurance cost to driver's capability in a crisis, we are steering the conversation now towards motoring.
Yes, motoring editor for the Sunday Independent, Geraldine Herbert, joins us now to discuss. Good morning to you,
Good
Geraldine.
morning.
Hey, Geraldine.
Let's start with this car, the Honda Civic.
Now, it's a name most people will recognise.
Yeah.
Has been around since the 70s.
Yeah.
Went through a stage there that it looked like it was modified even when it wasn't. It had a very angular look, but I think this is very sleek.
Yeah, it's
now.
very sleek.
It's definitely pared back, exactly as you say. It was kind of like a real cool boy racer car for a long time, wasn't it?
You still see quite a few of them on the road.
Yeah.
But it did. There was a stage there, was just it had gone a crease too far when it came to design. It really wasn't looking good. This is a lot slicker. It's a hybrid, so that will keep your fuel bills down. Actually does about 5 litres per 100, which is not bad.
Oh,
it's really nice to drive. It's not the biggest inside, but in terms of a family of 4, it would be,
It's a good family
perfect.
car.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
It's
How
really
much
good.
is it?
48,995, so it's at the pricey end.
Oh,
but there's
50
only one
grand,
spec
really.
for the moment, and it does come with all the bells and whistles. The infotainment system as well has lots of physical controls, which we like on this
It's
programme.
something we complain about all the
do
time.
constantly,
It probably doesn't have the same regal feel to it because of that.
Yeah,
It
because you've got all the old style
Yes,
buttons.
because of
but we
old style
need
physical
those,
buttons, but it's something we've kind of complained about because if you're driving, you have to take your eyes off the road a lot of time to
Intuitively,
change
you
things.
can change buttons, but you can't a screen. And the screen is actually quite simple to use as well, but still comes, as I said, with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and all of the things you want. So yeah, I mean, decent boot space, a good size for a family, and you know, low fuel bills.
I like
Okay,
it.
50 grand.
I like it.
And drives beautifully.
Yeah.
Really drives nicely. Yeah.
But I'd say it's definitely going to be more of the family than the boy racer is going to be taking.
Well, for this
out,
one,
that's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Right, let's move on to motoring and insurance claims because. Well, there's been some findings since last year in terms of claims.
Yeah, so the cost of claims has gone up, and the big issue there is the cost of repairs more than anything else. So there's two things happening. So now there's more technology on cars, so they're more expensive to repair. Parts have gone up. Inflation is having a big impact. But then also, because they're more expensive, people are more inclined to claim. So years ago, if you got a chip on your bumper, you think,
Yes.
you know what, I won't put it
Yeah,
through the
I'll
insurance,
just-
I'll pay
yeah.
for it myself. Now you find out how much it's going to cost you, and you
Yeah.
go, actually, I will put it through my insurance because it's so
Very
expensive.
true.
So a combination of those two things has driven up the cost by 23%. But the good news is there was intended that they were going to increase personal injury awards by 16.7%. Now, if they did that, that would have had a huge impact on our premiums. That's not happening, though.
Mary and I ask, you know, like, we've been talking about this for years, that we have nearly the highest awarded personal injury claims in the world, and yet they wanted to put them up 16.7%.
Yeah, they had been adjusted down, so they have come down. That's beginning to filter into the cost of premiums, and premiums were coming down. But the problem was there's a judicial council who review these award levels every few years, and they reviewed it, and they're just a group of judges, and they said, actually, this needs to go up. But nobody else wanted it to go up. There was huge opposition to it from consumer groups, from insurance groups, from all sorts, so thankfully it's not happening.
But like we were saying for years,
I know, we have enough.
people were like pretending to do this because the claims were so big.
Yeah. For whiplash, we
For
had
whiplash
4
especially,
times.
yeah.
what they had in the UK, yeah.
That's wild.
Crazy.
In terms of those more people using and claiming off their insurance, so is that hiking up the prices massively?
Yeah, that's increasing the cost of damages, basically.
Okay.
So that's
but
having
more
an
people
impact.
more people are claiming, therefore the
Yeah.
prices are going to go up.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
vehicle.
insurance company, they'll just keep passing it on to the
That's it,
customer.
yeah. It's a
Electric
win-win.
cars, it looks like they're on the rise again because there was a bit of a dip last year.
Yeah, so for the first 6 months of the year, they're up 27%. Now, as you say, but they were down quite considerably last year. So when you compare this year to last year, it's a big increase. But interestingly, if you compare this year to 2 years ago to 2023, we're back actually only where we were then. So
Okay.
you would have expected sales to actually be better because we have much better prices now for EVs. We've much better choice. Even the cheaper models have better range. So we
And
still have a
second-hand
bit to
market,
go.
does that count into that as well?
No, these are just new car
So
sales.
why was there such a dip last year? Was that because the grants were cut back and it looked like the government weren't giving as much?
Yeah, I think it was a different buyer as well because the early adopters had adopted by 2023.
Oh, right,
they had
yeah.
so you had the your sort of average buyer who was much less forgiving about the infrastructure. Had their own doubts about battery longevity. Even though we know it lasts, they still had
So
problems.
the people who
and
wanted
lots
an
of
electric car
misinformation.
had bought it at that stage.
Yeah, and it was convincing the average buyer, which took a bit more convincing. Yeah.
So the top EV models so far then, the Volkswagen ID4, Tesla Model 3, Kia EV3, Kia EV6, Tesla Model Y.
Yeah,
They're the
Tesla
most
are
popular.
doing really well in Ireland, regardless of the fact that they're not in the rest of Europe. The rest of Europe have snubbed them slightly. Now, a lot of that has to do with there was a new Model Y coming. It's now coming. The sales are coming back up. But the Elon Musk effect has had no impact on Irish sales.
Right. Very interesting.
Tommy, can you change a tyre?
I can change a tyre.
Can you change a tyre?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us that story then.
Well, so 50% of Irish drivers can't change a tyre. Is that
That's
true?
what they say, yeah.
Right.
Can you change
You
a
can
tyre,
change a
Geraldine?
tyre, no bother.
I can change a
You
tyre.
can
No, I
change
haven't in a very long time, but yeah, if I was pushed. But you see, you don't get tyres anymore. You get these puncture repair kits. Now, you need to, like, they're a whole different story.
I was going to get the wrench out the back and get it all set up for you to have to change this tyre. There's nothing in the back of it.
That's
There's no spare wheel?
No, that's to do with weight. Everything now is about keeping emissions down and increasing
So what do you
fuel
get
efficiency.
instead?
You get a puncture repair kit, which sounds simple, that you just plug it in and, kind of like visibly inflate the tyre back to where it should be, but it doesn't work.
A puncture repair kit, is that where you have to put it into the barrel and go around and try and find the air coming out of it?
This is slightly more advanced. But,
Stick the plaster on top of
very
it.
basically the same.
Actually, do you know what? The next time you ring, can we actually try that just
The
to
puncture
show
repair
people
kit?
how a puncture repair? So in new cars, there's no new wheels up.
Generally, there isn't. So it's all to do with weight saving.
So there you go.
we should
Now
do it.
you can't change a tyre, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as
I must
tyres.
check my car to see if I have a puncture repair kit.
Let us know at home. Are you one of the 50% who can change a tyre or can't change a tyre? And it's like, should you bother even learning how to drive a manual car?
Car. That's for another day, yeah.
Those look like they're not being used anymore. So let us know, 0896 111 scan the little QR code here. Geraldine Herbert from the Irish Independent, thank you so much for joining us.
And Geraldine, of course, is sticking around because we are going to answer your questions. So if you've any motoring questions for Geraldine, WhatsApp us now on 0896 111 111, and you're going to answer them about 8:45.
Yes.
So get those motoring questions
coming
into us.
through on that. Right, lots more still to come here on Ireland, and we'll be back in a few minutes.